Oh, nothing beats a fresh watermelon straight out of the garden. So sweet. But this is honestly one of those plants that could really be one of the most dismaying harvests because you pick it 1 week too early, you get nothing, 1 week too late, and you get absolute mush. In this video, Kevin and I are gonna go over all the things you need to know before growing your very own watermelon, including when to pick it at the right time. If you're growing watermelon at home for the first time, there are 3 major things that really dictate your success on whether you get a sweet, juicy melon or nothing at all. And the first thing is really coming down to variety. Right here, I have a couple different options that I would like to consider. The first are the ones that take a bit longer to grow in the garden. This is for you if you're in somewhere a little bit warmer, have a longer growing season. Charleston Gray is one of the OGs, one of the first spread watermelons. It's huge, it's beautiful, it's delicious, but it will take anywhere from 85 to 100 days. Similar to that, we have the Mountain Sweet Yellow, which is a nice big melon, and that's going to take much longer to develop. But after that, you get into these shorter day varieties, things like Crimson Sweet, that's only about 85 days, same as the Cream of Saskatchewan. But the real hack here is if you're in somewhere that has a short climate and also you are a small on-space garden, you're gonna want the Sugar Baby. This is a more compact plant. It's not gonna take over your garden and it will still reach maturity within that 80 to 85 day window, giving you the best chance for success.
Now, so sweet. If you've got your variety on lock, let's talk about how to plant it correctly and how to space it correctly, which is super important. There's no place a man would rather be than eating watermelon in his watermelon patch while talking to you about how to grow watermelon. Sun, super important for watermelon. You wanna blast your patch with sun. This is 8+ hours right here. East, west, meaning we get full exposure throughout the course of the day, which is fantastic. And then as far as planting watermelon goes, the traditional way to plant it, which is not mandatory, but it does work pretty well, is you make up a bit of a little mound, maybe a 6-inch mound or so. You take 3 watermelon seed, you plant those seeds in the top of the mound. I like to make a slight depression in the top of the mound, kind of like a volcano, just the top of it. Cover that up with soil, and then you space those mounds out about 4 to 6 feet apart. You can plant different varieties if you want, have a lot of fun with it. And then you get a patch like this. We have one variety here, there's one variety here, there's one variety behind here, and we're actually bringing Paul on the team to talk about an extra space tip for those of you who are a little bit challenged on square footage.
If you're looking to save space while getting those big juicy melons, one of the best ways is to go vertical. So we have a simple cattle panel trellis slapped right next to some T-posts, and we just sort of weaved them in and out, and now they're taking off, which is a perfect way to do it.
To get a big old melon like this, you better be respecting your soil because watermelons are heavy feeders. They need tons of nutrients, especially early in their growing cycle and later when they begin to set their fruit. Before we did any planting whatsoever, this whole area was added up with a bunch of compost, and every single section where we planted the melons got a full dose of organic fertilizer. This ensures they had the nutrition from the beginning and throughout their whole growing span so that you could get a big melon like this that you can't even really find in the grocery store. The other mistake you might be making at home is planting your melons too early. You probably didn't know that watermelons originated in southern Africa in the Kalahari Desert. They were prized for storing a ton of water, and actually they love growing in the heat. So if you plant them too early, you're not gonna actually end up getting that many melons. Instead, you'll get a stunted plant that maybe produces one not so sweet melon. So make sure your soil temperature reaches 70 degrees. Either get a thermometer, poke it into the soil, or look online, and there's a few resources out there that'll tell you when your soil has hit 70 degrees.
It's time to get up close and personal with these melons, guys. Got a big one up there, not ready to harvest. How do you know when it's ready to harvest? If there's one thing I enjoy, it's fondling a nice set of melons. And to know when they're ripe, you need to get hands-on. So let's take a look. This one here accidentally got eaten off by a bug. So we're gonna open this one in a second, but how do you actually know when your melons are ripe? There are 2 critical signals, and then there's some kind of bonus signals that you can look for. So first off, you're going to have a stem coming out of the top of your melon. It'll be attached to the rest of the plant, of course. There will be a tendril and what's called a spoon leaf. The tendril, kind of like a cucumber, is the thing that's gonna be wrapping around if it's climbing up something. So you'll look for that to be dry. You'll look for what's called the spoon leaf, which is right around the tendril, to also be kind of dry and withered. Then you'll look for what's called the field spot. This one right here is looking decent. You don't want it to be white, you want it to be a little bit sort of cream, yellowish colored or so, unless it's a hanging melon. If it's a hanging melon, it's probably gonna look like this because there is no field spot to block the sun, thus it will actually be a dark green right here. So if it's hanging, you have to ignore the field spot. You can also give it that knock test, although that's a little bit less reliable because to me at least, they all sound the same. All melons sound the same, but they certainly feel different. And we're gonna take a look inside with Jacques and see if we've got something nice and right. Jacques, why don't you get your hands on this melon here?
So this is the one from your garden.
Yes.
Mine tasted pretty good.
Yours is good. Mine, we'll see, because this was harvested by the bugs. Didn't pop open and oh, I don't know about that. That's too young. It's too young. Well, you know what you can do with watermelons? You can actually pickle green watermelon, but let's do a little baby slice here.
Slab test?
Yeah, just a slab. It's gonna be so underripe.
Actually,
It's actually not bad. It's not that bad.
Maybe juice it?
If you put this in the fridge, I mean, this is hydration.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Straight water.
You could make a smoothie out of this. Anyways, guys, melons, pumpkins, cucumbers, and cantaloupes, all in the same family. We have a video you can check out right here over Jacques' face. If you want to learn how to grow cantaloupes better, of course, you can grab the seeds from botanicalintros.com. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing.
I'm going back to mine.
And I made you, that slurp was disturbing.